way, better way. Hey, better way, better way. Better way, better way. Hey, what will you choose today? Hey. Welcome to our podcast, A Better Way Road. What choice will you make? What road will you take? I'm your very grateful host, Telda. I believe that there's a crisis of crime due in part to a crisis of choice. We've come together on a better way road to help in navigating the journey of choice making in a judgment-free lane. We're sharing the stories of people who are finding a better way. Now, we're not experts. Any advice or opinions are solely the pathways of our guests. So buckle up, pack some snacks, and let's begin our trip up a Better Way Road. And talk it out together about a better way, better way. Better way, better way. Better way, better way. I'm so proud of you, 'cause you choose a better way. Morning and welcome to A Better Way Road. Hey. Gentlemen, we have with us the world-renowned, famous, hilarious duo. We have Dev and Tev in the house.
Hey, thank you so much for having us.
You are more than welcome. And this is our season finale. We will rejoin again in April, but of course, I had to have them on to just make it fun.
Absolutely.
And lighten it up and just, bring us the facts. Just the facts, Jack. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You know how we get down.
And before I get started, I don't know if I need to talk like this on this interview because my real voice is squeaky. I'm 8 feet tall, sound like Daffy Duck.
Right. Oh, my God. Well, you said, if you get into that serious interview voice, then I have to get serious, and I don't want to be serious.
I guess I'm keeping my squeaky voice.
Larry King lives here.
Right, exactly. So I did sound a little bit like Oprah, though, so maybe there's some potential there.
This might cross some barriers.
I might kind of go over to another level. So, but Devin, first of all, Dev, I want to thank you, also known as Waldo.
Yes.
And Waldo is an artist, and we've had him on several times that we talked about. My very, very first episode with Wish TV was Tell Me About Your Tat.
Ooh.
And I was so nervous. I was afraid to push any button. I thought I was going to mess everything up. But you just had this calming spirit about you, and you might have been nervous too. But we just held hands and walked across the street together, and we got through it. So we talked about, the stories of people's body art or tattoos. Then I asked you, well, who do you know that might also have some tattoos that you've done who would want to share their story? And you said, I know this dude named Tevin, and game changer, life-changing experience with Tevin. Yes, thank you, Tevin. Within minutes, I was on the ground rolling. Rolling.
Hilarious.
Let's rolling.
So anyway, a lot of the information we cover, is, it's of a serious nature, it's a serious tone because, the format is, making better choices, having better options, and then get a little heavy. But you always, like I said, you guys keep it fun. You keep it,
Yes, tasteful.
I love the way that you all bring the facts. So anyway, today we're going to talk about the value of friendships and choosing your friendships very, very carefully. And we'll keep it light and fresh and fun. So what I'm going to do is everything I do, I try to do research on it, like read, like watch a video, talk to some people. Like, don't rely on your own expert. If you are right in your own mind and you haven't compared or contrast, you probably may not be as right as you think.
Right.
So one of my personal guys' books, I love the book of Proverbs because it's a book of wisdom and advice. Mm-hmm. Certainly not restricted to that, but that's kind of where I start. So I'm going to pull out a couple of those foundational scriptures and just kind of throw you all a few, toss the ball to you and kind of get your reaction from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll start off with this Proverbs 27:19, and it says, a mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown in the kind of friends that he chooses. So Dev and Ted, when y'all look at each other,
you're looking at yourselves. And I just need to know, what do you feel about that? When you look over and you see him in your mirror, and Tev, you look over and you see Dev in your mirror, what are your thoughts about that?
I would like to say unconditional love and genuineness. He's always been a true friend since the very first day that I've met him. And it let me know instantly that he would be a lifelong friend of mine, whether we see each other every day or we see each other every 3 months or every time we come to this meeting. And it's always a good time. We always share, our truest feelings, which is the genuineness that I feel in our relationship when we come together, and it's no amount of time that could separate us or extinguish our friendship. So I think it's perfect, and he lightens the mood every single time, no matter how dense the mood may be. He's a perfect laughter effect to brighten everybody's day.
I love that, because laughter is, the scripture also says, laughter is good medicine.
Absolutely.
So you were commenting on how you please stop so I can catch my breath before we get on the air.
On the way up
On
here,
the way here.
he's cracking me up. My face muscles are tight. My stomach is tight. I'm I literally, give me a second to breathe, because I can't even think straight right now.
Oh my gosh. But Ted, what do you think about this dude over here?
I like everything that he says. Pause. This sounds amazing. The way all the compliments he give you, instead of him just saying he a cool dude, you know what I'm saying? I like Tevin funny. He a funny dude, man. He made me laugh. He's charismatic, good energy. That make me, I'm about to cry. I was trying to that made me feel good. That's why I can't do that with my answers, so I gotta make you laugh to make you feel that way.
Exactly.
So we both make each other feel good. We make other people feel good.
Yes.
But he does it he needs to be. You supposed to be what them psychologists, therapists words on big
TED Talk.
You could get some coin behind this then.
Psychology, therapist in
Either
here.
that or a journalist or a writer or something in his head without even writing it down. He just
I appreciate
college
that.
magical, statical, magical, classical.
What? We spitting now?
But just this time, his answer was about how of a good person I am. Dang, this is
right.
I was winning. I hope Jesus like this in Judgment Day. I'm sorry, we about to preach now because you put this in the Bible. It ain't about what we said. It's about with them red letters. I want them red letters.
Right, all the red.
The red letters from the Bible. That's when Jesus say something. It ain't about what we say. It's about what Jesus said. How you know that the Bible said we need to pick our friends? I didn't know about that one.
Exactly. So if y'all get to the gate and you need a co-signer, you know how to call Devin.
I can call Tevin, or Tevin can call
each
Devin.
other. So y'all both have to be also act right.
Because on Judgment Day, I'm already scared of Afterlife, but I don't know how scary Judgment Day is going to be. If a whole bunch of people looking at me, just 6 of them looking at me.
That's it.
But either way, it's uh-oh. But
you got some buddies with you okay.
You got somebody you can call.
Right.
He's a good guy. We can let him in.
Oh, I love that. And that's the core of what I'm talking about. Proverbs 17:17 says, a friend is always loyal, and a brother is born in a time of need. So it sounds like y'all have been through some things. And when I say brother, I mean brotherhood. I don't mean this is not exclusive to men. This is a sisterhood also. So it's a word that encompasses all. But and not necessarily you two with each other, but just in general. And you don't have to use names or get into specific scenarios. But born to help in a time of need. Have either of you had to kind of like Superman swoop in and help somebody out?
Oh, absolutely. There are times where I feel like we absolutely grew up in the same high school. We went to North Central together.
All righty.
I graduated class of 2012. What year did you graduate, Tevin?
2011.
Okay, so he was a year before me,
you
but
were a youngster.
we knew a lot of the same people. We kept a lot of the same company, even if we weren't in the same grade.
Right.
And in our generation, there was a lot of kind of like joning or talking about other people in a funny way to make light of the situation. And we kind of, played along a little bit growing up, and then you kind of start to take a back role and understand this isn't really the light-hearted situation. You want to, make fun of people or,
go too far.
Yeah, go too far.
Yeah.
You might cross a line. So it's easy to see when somebody's uncomfortable in a situation like that, and you can kind of piggyback and lift them up or edify them in a way that, builds their character up instead of tearing it down. So it's easy to, laugh those situations off when you're getting joned on or you're joning on someone, and then
Right.
when the situation kind of starts to die down, you lift them back up. Like, I was joking or I was playing. I didn't really mean what I said. This is, all out of jokes to be laughter. But I think of you in a very positive way. I think you're a
Oh, I
very
like
good
that.
person. I think that, you're a very genuine friend to not take that to heart
Exactly.
for what I said, and we can move past this, and it's all jokes at the end of the day. So
I like that.
some people you
Yeah.
probably don't have those friends to build you back up after times like that, but
Exactly.
for us to be in those situations or around those friends and then getting out of those situations and being able to lift each other back up and let you know that I don't think of you in a negative light. I think of you in a very positive light. That's why I still hang around you and I still am a part of our friendship and I cherish it truly. So
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Tab, have you ever, been in a scenario where, you saw somebody, either going down a wrong road or making a wrong choice, or in a situation where you knew they needed help and you kind of even maybe put yourself out there a little bit to give them that hand? What does that look
And-
like? What did that look like?
We could start to where he was mentioning when sometimes people might roast each other at school, make fun of them,
Right.
and name your podcast is a Better Way Road. When you're getting joned on for not having the nicest clothes, you might want to take the fast lane road to do things, and then because this episode is about choosing the right friends, and me, I guess I was more of scared of that road. Like, I don't know what that road about to go to.
Right.
It don't got no lights in there. It don't got no lights up there. I don't know what's
road
out there.
signs,
it's kind of
nothing.
dark and scary.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna work at Kroger, and everybody knew me as a Kroger boy, and I just made it funny, like I'm balling out for these, bagging these groceries,
Yeah.
and then it's like,
Man, I would have loved to have been one of your customers. I would have loved. I bet you nobody got through your line quickly
Without laughing.
without laughing. And,
Face
crack.
off.
And then your manager was probably kind of scrunch faced, like,
Yeah.
but
He's doing
no,
more joking than
as long as I
bagging.
know the person, I'm a fool.
Right.
People don't know me, probably think this dude is Suge Knight or something. Like, they would never know. I'm funny. So they hear my
see-
squeaky voice.
But see, that's good because, like, again, you just your lightheartedness. We've talked about this before. We've talked about, it's not funny if somebody's like hurt.
Yes.
If you're, like I said, I know a guy. He had really about 3 or 4 pair of pants. But he always had like super white, crisp T-shirts, which he would iron, and then he would just rotate his pants, and that's all he had. But he took care of what he had. But he was subject to being made fun of, and it's not funny. It's just, his parents were doing the best they could for him, and I saw people come to his rescue. Well, he's a pretty big dude, so he didn't need a whole lot of rescuing.
Yeah.
But just the whole idea is you don't prey on somebody's spot where you think that's a weak spot for them.
Absolutely.
So I say again, another reason to admire you all. So
Thank you.
And I was going to say, like,
yeah. Oh no, please.
him being big and people were still making fun of him. Like, this might be with me in school, they'll see I'm the gentle giant. They can tell that if they make a slick little joke, I'm not going to just be ready to fight. Sometimes, whether the person is, they might see him as softer than normal. I'm not going to say he just seemed like a little wimp. If I pick on him, even if he did get mad, I'm not scared to beat him up. But sometimes it's like, we know this dude is so nice and cool with everybody that, like, it's not even going to, he's not going to get too offended. But deep down, you might be like, dang, they going to keep roasting me.
Right,
Like, let me go
right.
on ahead and which road I'm going to take.
Exactly.
And me, like, I didn't make basketball, so we might
Yeah.
as well work. Might as well work, make some money.
Exactly.
They won't never, but somebody might want to do, break into a house and do this and that.
Right.
It might not know people that are in there and
and
it's
cause
like-
harm.
Yeah.
And now you got life.
Yeah,
But-
exactly. I'd love on a previous episode where you said, I'm not going to be with people that I'm going to end up doing 300 years in jail with them. So like
That's exactly
you
what-
made a conscious choice early, which brings us to our next one. It's 1 Corinthians 15:33, bad company corrupts good character. And what wisdom can you all offer about people that you should just not be with? You just have no business being in their company, and you have no business with them being associated with you.
You kind of feel it like in your gut, like kind of, oh, them the mad kids. If you like, they go off into the back of the bus. Like
Yeah.
the ones in the back of the bus, they probably weren't the ones you just be in the middle. Like
Yeah.
I know you don't want to be square. Like if you still cool you want to be the cool person, maybe you just need to be in the middle of the bus. You still cool with them, but
Right. You could toggle back and forth.
they don't really care about school. You're trying to get the best grades you can, and some of them might not really care too much if they
Right.
graduate or not.
Yeah.
So you know that's not the road you want to take.
Yeah. Hello.
That one don't got no street lights in it either.
I love the no street lights. I love you go down the road and there's no like like Dev said, there's
Traffic
no
lights.
roadside traffic light. Nothing. It's just dark.
Yeah.
Like,
A lot of
yeah.
potholes. You might
Yeah.
have to. Now you're waiting on AAA in that road that she don't know about.
Right. Like look, AAA might be like,
Right.
Yeah.
You're on your own, big dog.
Yeah, had to see about that. So, yeah, so, Deb, what do you think? Bad company?
Piggyback off of what Tevin said, yeah, you might think fitting in would be the way to, make friends, or you see some other kids, making choices that you wouldn't normally make, and instantly you kind of come up with reasons or justify why you might want to, tag along or partake in something that they're doing to fit in, but there's something inside of you kind of telling you like, I'm not sure if this is okay for me, or you get an anxiety or a nervousness about you that lets you know I probably shouldn't be doing this. So that alone will, help your deciding factor on who to associate with. And when you see other kids doing positive things, like how you mentioned the kid that you knew that only had a few pair of pants. I've been seeing a lot of social media students that have teachers that don't have much, and they've never. I saw a post where a teacher never ever owned a pair of Jordan sneakers, and the whole classroom that he was a teacher for,
Right.
they all accumulated enough money to buy him his first pair of sneakers, and
Wow,
they presented to him in a way where this teacher is in tears of how joyous and happy he is to have received this from his students. I don't know if every student in that class got an A+ that
Right.
day.
I
or,
think everybody did
know
well
what
that
I'm saying?
day.
He removed the test for
but
that day.
how neat.
But stuff like that will let you know also on the inside, like, ooh, that gave me a good feeling. I like seeing things like that. That's stuff that I can actually be a part of. Or maybe it's not a teacher, it's another student that's getting bullied. And, instead of piggybacking on the kids that are bullying him, you defend him. You step in there and you don't mind taking some of that ridicule away from the kid that's being bullied. So you almost side with him or befriend him in a way
Yes.
that, makes him feel comfortable. And it also makes you feel comfortable that you did something good for somebody that is less fortunate in that situation.
Exactly. And I love that. And again, that the whole mirror, looking in the mirror concept of, I did, so I kind of stepped out on a limb a little bit.
Yes.
But you feel good about what you did
You
and who
feel
you
so
associated.
great about it. And then you have a lifelong friend after that.
Exactly. And that lifted that person up. I'll repeat a story. I'll keep the names anonymous. A retired gentleman told me about a story he'd heard where was a young man in high school. And he went to school, perfect attendance, good grades, but he was very shy, really quiet, and just nobody noticed him, So he, went on for a little while. I think it got to be toward the end of his senior year, and nobody knows I'm here. It doesn't really matter that I'm here. And he had decided he was going to take his life. And that day, for whatever reason, the head of the football team walked over to him, and I'm going to say Bill. I don't know what his name was. Hey, Bill, what's going on? What you on? What you doing? And he kind of looked around like, was he talking to somebody behind me?
Yeah,
or
can't
he said,
be
no,
talking to me.
He can't be talking to me. So he said, no, man, come on, let's go out, let's grab a burger, or Coca-Cola, whatever. And he's like, well, cool. So they talked and chatted and and became friends. And later on, went into business together, and had some other ventures. And then he shared with him years later that was the day he literally was going to end his life because he just didn't think he mattered. Now, for whatever reason, the football guy could have walked by him 1,000 times, but that day he noticed him. So so it is important. It's important when we say, that you're able to reach out to someone out of the corner of your eye.
Yes.
That they're not a friend then, but they became lifelong friends.
Absolutely.
So that takes us right to Proverbs 17:9. I'm trying to read my own handwriting here. Whoever fosters love covers over an offense, but whoever repeats the matter separates close friends.
Wow.
Now, have you ever had to go to a sister or a brother that will just not let stuff go that keeps stirring up the mess, keep it going until everybody's mad. Have you ever had to kind of just talk somebody in a different direction than doing that? And Tev, I'm looking right at you because I already know. I feel like you've experienced something like this.
I'm trying to think too, as well. You're saying like they're bringing up the same situation.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a situation that bothered them. Like,
Over and
they don't
over and
like.
over. Yeah, they just and what they're doing is they're trying to get people to take sides. Well, Dev, did you hear about this? And he was tripping and, blah, 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 blah. And then you're the neutral dude. You're like, well, I'm sorry that happened to you, but, So what do you do when everybody's sick of hearing about it? It's done, it's buried, it's over, but they still want to separate friends. They want to get people on team A or team B. Have you ever run up on that? Or if you haven't, what would you advise for people who maybe are going through something like that?
Well, like now I just feel like because I can't think of like a situation where it's a
No, that's
friend, but I
okay.
can think of like the mom and the dad.
There you go. Names anonymous, of course.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
like whether it's my mom, and my dad, or my
Right.
cousin and the mother of his
Yes.
kid, baby mama drama,
Yeah.
like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, that kind of thing. Exactly.
And that just kind of sounds kind of like that's kind of
Cliche or
Yes.
typical.
Yes.
so it's like pew pew. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like, that's another-
relationships.
Yeah, that's like
Absolutely.
one of them other type of podcasts.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, we'll try to keep this.
Because these
rated
women,
G.
and they
Right.
want to say, I can't see my son.
Yeah.
And say
Not
I
at
ain't
all.
do nothing, but I still pay child support. It's just I can't pay child support and I got to pay for the haircuts. That's
Right.
money from child support.
Right. It's like, what decision are you going to make?
So like, am I supposed to be on my cousin's side or the baby mama's side? And it's like,
Exactly.
sometimes
Exactly.
you ever had somebody vent to you and they kind of wrong,
Yeah. They're real
Exactly.
wrong.
whether it's your girlfriend or something.
Yes.
You're like, I
That's
see
like-
why they fired you, but like, dang, I want to be mad. So I'm like, dang, they fired you off of that.
Right, right. And it's okay, like I said, you let that person vent for a few minutes, but if they going on and on and on, more likely than not, it's the person that's venting that's
Yes.
having the issue. So you listen, like you just said, and kind of, yeah, I support you in terms of, you have a right to feel what you feel, but there comes a point where you got to build a bridge and get over that
Yes.
because we all sick of hearing about it.
And I guess the word would be, I'm more timid than blunt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just let it. If my dad calls me again today and they're the same sentence
Right.
that he says, me and my sisters, like, okay, Dad. And I finally be like, love you. See you later.
Right.
Like,
We'll talk
freaking
later.
hour, Jesus. Said the same thing 8 times.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
But maybe when my sister be like, okay, Dad, you already said that.
Right.
like you never know how somebody else might be.
Exactly. Like she said it, and then you probably like Dad's going to call again. So get ready, or whoever, not necessarily Dad, but whoever that
Even, like,
person.
at the job, the coworker that's a little
Yeah,
mean towards you.
you
if
start to avoid them.
If I would have nipped it in the bud,
Yeah.
he might have just never have done it, and I just been so timid and just kind of
Yeah.
walk away. Sometimes, eventually, stuff builds up, and that's the thing. If you do got to tell this friend, because that's what even though I don't have a friend, but we can still make it to where
Right.
if I was in this situation, you got to. I mean, there might have been situations like this, and I got to nicely tell them that way I don't lose a friend.
Exactly.
And I got to persuade to them why they're wrong. As long as you can persuade to them, like Mr.
Yes.
Waldo with the best answers and
Yes.
everything, he
Yeah.
can make it to where I see why you're saying that. I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
Dang, you're right.
See,
I was
that's
tripping. Like,
Yes, that's a gift. I mean, to be able to navigate a situation
Yes. Walk
and
somebody through
Yes.
a process
Yes.
that helps them understand
Absolutely.
the situation.
Because I got to do that when people are drunk.
yeah, there exactly.
I'm not trying to do a drunk fight. I
That
don't want to fight.
is that is the next one. Honest to goodness, you took me right to it. Proverbs
That's how we do it.
23:20. Do not make friends with someone who drinks too much wine or eats too much food.
Absolutely.
Now, it isn't necessarily about the wine or the food.
No.
I mean, it is, but it's all about self-control.
Yes.
So, how do you keep yourself in check? How do you, like I said, if somebody's, you're partying, you're having a good time, but everybody has a boundary that you set. So, either yourself or maybe you've observed a situation where they're getting ready to get out of hand. So how do you take control of that either with yourself and perhaps even, I'll just call it crowd control?
Yes. Well, I would say a lot of what is missing in a lot of people's lives today is accountability. So accountability gets overlooked because people are very sensitive to
Yes.
criticized or being ridiculed by the next person, that when it's really just their opinion, you know, you could take it to heart if you want to, but it's honestly to better you. And some people take it directly to heart, and it hurts their feelings in a way that they can't be accountable for the things that they've done in the situation or their actions and how they affect other people. So if there is a little more accountability in situations, I feel like people would be more responsible with, you know, the things they say or the way they treat people or the effect it has on other people as well. And it may, in turn, allow you to dial back what you're going to say or how frank you are with people sometimes. Sometimes being too frank or overly frank may, you know, take the course of that conversation in a different direction than you were intending it to.
Exactly. Absolutely. And attempt to what you're saying, automatic, you know, it goes right to Proverbs 24:26. Giving an honest answer is a sign of true friendship.
Yes.
So being honest, and Tev, you navigated in such a way that
I'm talking about.
that you're spitting truth, you know, but I admire that you kind of put it back on them. Like, look at how you act in there, what you're choosing now. I'm going to, you know, like I said, we'll laugh and talk about it for a few minutes, but at the end of the day, when the dust falls, you need to be looking at yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like you're really gifted in doing that. And again, not, taking sides and turning people against one another, you know, getting some mess stirred up, as I said earlier, which is, you know, like I said, that's a gift. And one of the last ones I'll go through is that it talks about, let me find it here, do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not associate with one easily angered.
Ooh, so true.
That me personally, you know, I feel like a lot of what's going on right now, we are just, young people are losing their lives over such foolishness.
Yes.
I feel that there is a lot of, I'm going to get this person back. I'm angry about that. I've had this kind of beef with you. And if you get enough people that are hot-headed in the same room at the same time, well, then that's gonna stir them and get them into scenarios.
Yes.
So, what do you all think about that hot-tempered person? How do we deal with that young man or that young woman?
I'll probably break them down with my humor.
There you go.
If he was still angry and I'm making him, like, how you gonna be angry while I make you laugh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, like, if there is something I gotta tell him, that him being hot-headed, like, if you gotta tell him, man, can you turn the music down? Like, you know, sometimes they wouldn't be seen. They wouldn't pull up with their charger right in the front of the store to get them new shoes at City Gear and Snipes. Because I just seen it with the 30 clip hanging out.
Exactly.
They want you to see the gun. Like,
they're driving through the
they
window
don't want to fight you. They
of
want
the
to
store. Yeah.
And if you say it like, hey, big dog, you need to turn that music down. Put your gun back in your car, man.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not gonna work.
No, absolutely. It might almost
Get you shot because now
amp it up a little
you done
more.
hurt his ego a little bit.
Exactly.
In front of all them girls that he was trying to impress, you gonna say it like that?
Yeah.
He got to get you back in some kind of way. But if you like, hey, big dog, your ride clean, bro, but like, you mind parking it? Like, if I was the owner or something, like,
Yeah,
you mind parking over there,
absolutely.
though, big dog?
In a very polite
Right.
gesture.
Yes. I
You
like
might
that.
buy some more shoes. You already fresh right there. I
Yeah.
see you got the like
Yes.
kind of like that. Like maybe just break the ice. the icebreaker.
Yes.
I absolutely love that because you de-escalated it, and you've got a lot of times people just want to be seen.
Yep.
They want to be acknowledged. So you've already, you've acknowledged their presence. I see
you here.
I see
We
you
all see you.
here. We
We
all
hear
see
you.
you and hear you.
Yes.
But maybe can you think about, like I
And
said,
smell you.
and smell.
Drinking that swine smoking them tweeds, huh?
That's that smell-o-vision. But you do that in such a way that I just cannot imagine someone not taking that to heart. Because like I said, you would look ridiculous laughing and trying to have a mean face at the same time.
Yes.
So that is a gift. And that's really great advice. It's like instead of stepping to a person like they're stepping to you, take a step back and say, let me compliment you in some way. Well,
Absolutely.
I for years, I don't know how I managed to do it, but I never actually had to fight. But I want to say Oh, it's a singer, and she says "Queens don't swing." I'll think of her name in just a moment. I love her music.
Oh, wow.
She was a poet before she became a lyricist, and Tyler Perry did some movies with her.
Oh.
She was the one. She was the one who
Jill
played.
Scott?
Yes, thank you. Pew, pew, pew,
Okay,
pew,
wow.
pew, pew.
Look at you.
Yes, and so she said "Queens don't swing." So one of my techniques was that if someone stepped to me, well, you think you're, and I would say, no. I said, if you, right as it's coming out of your mouth, I don't think that. And you know what bothers me is I don't understand why beautiful women like yourself, you all are always the ones
Yes.
that are coming to me, and they're like, and then they get that grin, like, oh, you think I'm
You
beautiful?
think I'm beautiful?
Yes,
you
I do.
complimented and then
Yes.
diffused that whole escalation.
whole
Now,
thing.
something else you could do if you Jill Scott.
Right.
Jill Scott said, Queens don't swing.
Yeah, right.
Is she the same girl who sung, "You better back down before you get smacked down. You better chill. You better chill, and I mean it. You better back down." She'll swing if she need
She
to.
will. It didn't mean she wouldn't swing.
And she got that revolver in her purse, too.
Right. Didn't mean that she couldn't swing, but I'm gonna try to come to you
Absolutely.
in another way. So I just
It's a
love
good message
that.
to push, though.
It really is, and the song. I mean, the song version. That the remix is definitely gonna be you, Tab, for real. She gonna call you up after
Kings
this.
and queens don't swing.
There you go. But I love that advice. It's like, don't step into it. Especially if somebody's egging you on or goading you or whatever, take that step back and find some common ground,
Yes.
to do some things. So, but I'll sort of segue into, our close here with, Proverbs 27:19 says, just as iron sharpens iron, friends sharpen the minds of each other.
Ooh.
And I just love that because if you got a dull blade trying to sharpen a sharp blade or vice versa, you're not really going to be a real benefit to each other. So what are some parting words, or what are some criteria, or maybe some things to think about as you're, whether it's elementary, middle school, high school, going into your adult years, some qualities you might be looking out for in a person before you establish a friendship with them?
Well, there's a very powerful saying that a lot of successful businessmen use, and it's you'll be the average income of the 5 friends that you have in your circle.
Wow. Now, wait a minute, repeat that.
The 5 friends that you have in the next 5 to 10 years, you'll be the average income that you create for yourself. So if you got 5 billionaire friends,
Hello.
if you average out how much money they make and divide it by 5, then that would be
That's going to be
your income.
That is profound. I
and then
love
also,
that.
if you have 5 knucklehead friends and they're always being knuckleheads and not really being wise about how they spend their money, or they're just frivolous to let it go and not really accumulate any back, then you'll probably have the same tendencies
Preach,
or
brother.
personalities that they have.
Well,
Dang.
yes, that.
I got me thinking. I can say something? Y'all mind if I say something?
Oh,
Absolutely.
please.
So first through 6th grade, I was in Pike Township. It's a little bit easier than Washington Township. I was in all honors. It was cool to be in all honors. You get all honors with Air Force Ones and throwback jerseys on.
Right.
Braids in your hair. Urban people.
Yes.
Did you say urban?
The African American community was high rank up in the honors classes. And we was roasting like it was the regular classes.
Well, okay.
Impressive.
I get to Washington Township, West Lane Middle School, from Lincoln Middle School to West Lane, it's a little bit more
Little change.
Hollister,
Yeah.
Starbucks
At
type of.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yes. That crowd was my classmates.
Yes.
Right.
And it was a little bit harder anyway. So I'm like, well, mama, let me get an easy A by just going to the regular class with my people's Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
my Negroes. And it's like, well, what if I just would have challenged myself and stayed on that road? That exit to not just the regular going down 365. What if I went to that Chicago exit with the
Right.
smart kids, and they were like, we about to go to school for da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
We're not buying Jordans right now and jewelry right now. And
Right.
we saving up for that new cryptocurrency.
You kind of start to
Exactly.
associate with what
those-
they're doing.
Exactly.
But they
That's a
they
good
probably
point.
putting, maybe not nobody here knew about cryptocurrency unless
Yeah.
you was on it.
Right. But I mean, the point.
So dark web.
You
Yeah.
don't know much about Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister and stuff until you transferred schools. It wasn't really prevalent. So
Exactly.
the people you're surrounded by is heavily influence your decisions.
That's
and
a
hopefully they're
really
gonna
good point.
influence you to go on the right road.
yes.
Maybe, and that might be kind of some crazy type of conversations, but like this could be one. Does having your kids live in a certain neighborhood and go to certain schools, do you need to use your grandmama's address and so she can go to?
Absolutely. Sometimes that's the case.
But there was, and I saw it on CNN. I don't remember the name of the special. But there was a gentleman, African American, although we don't call each other African American, but a brother, and he said he grew up in the worst school district in the worst state in the United States.
Wow.
And so, and I don't want to throw shade on the state, but he was the worst. It was the worst school in the worst state in the United States,
Bad
and he
situation.
literally dirt poor. And so, but he persevered, just as you've said, Tav. He persevered. He got his grades straight. He, began to associate with people he saw that were achieving. Somehow or another, he was very good. He was very, gifted in speech, and so entered some speech contests, so on and so forth. Went to high school. Got a lot of resistance from this particular state, and I will say, no, I won't, because that wouldn't be nice. Yeah. But he got a lot of resistance in this particular state.
Wow.
And so, but he continued with his speech making, did make it into college, a scholarship, I want to say. And then Cornel West heard him speak at one point. Of course, Cornel West and Dr. Gates, very profound professorships at Harvard University and or Ivy League schools.
Yes.
So heard him and said, "Hey, bruh, come over here." And he mentored him and kind of showed him the way. And now he is a world-renowned author, motivational speaker, businessman. But even in those days when he was trying to get up and make it to a school that did not have any faith or confidence at all in what he was going to achieve. To your point, Tav, he challenged himself. He got himself in with a group of people who were also challenging themselves. The road narrows as you head towards success. So those are key points, and it's something to not be detoured from. You cannot necessarily be what you can't see. So that's where you reach out. You look beyond your neighborhood. You look beyond your circumstance. You look beyond where you are now onto where you want to be. Yes, sir.
And I got something that can translate. I don't know if I'm kind of messing up now because translate might not be the word. But
No, you good.
How we mentioned that iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
It would be even great of a friend, even if it's not your friend, a colleague, a classmate, just doing the right thing. If you know how to, because like the road, if you see somebody's on a bad road, if you can convince them that your road is going to be better for them, like maybe I was mentioning. I didn't really like the honors classes. I wanted to just go to the regular ones because it just seemed like it was more cool people there who might not take school as seriously, but I'm just going to have this easy A and enjoy this easy road, knowing that other road is going to have some more challenges, but once I clear it, so I'm successful. Like I didn't reach success, and I was glad I took that road.
Yes.
If I can convince the ones on the other road that, hey, y'all might as well take this road. This is going to be better.
Yeah.
In the end, like, I know right now it's better to take that easy road, but if you take this road, it's going to pay off. If you can convince other people to take the better road.
Based off of the experiences that
yes,
you've
because they're
had.
watching you. Yeah, and I remember early on in one of our other episodes, you said that your credit score was important to you as a teenager. So young, very, very young, you owned a home. You owned a car. Like you set those sights for yourself. And again, that came from just, challenging yourself and kind of stepping away from that crowd a little bit,
Yes.
To achieve that. And that is to be commended. Not everyone, they talk about it. They want to do it. I was gonna, but you did that. So any other parting thoughts you have before, because I never want my words to be the last one. And we're gonna close this down. I am impressed with the gentleman which I am associated with and are friends with.
I could say the exact same thing. It's a privilege and an honor to be a part of this Better Way podcast, because I feel like it's uplifting our energy, and it's a good message to get out to the public and anybody else that may need to be pointed in a Better way.
A better way. A better
Better
way.
way.
Better way, better way.
Hey, hey, hey.
Ooh, yeah.
I think we might have been a little off key, but that's okay. We made the point.
Gotta
So
be a better way.
you'll be in the remix, Tab. You'll be in the remix. So we'll end on that note. And I just, again, as we go into your early in the school year, you're early in, perhaps you've left school, and when I say left, hopefully graduated. If not, set your sights on your goals. Look to where you want to be. Look to who is coming with you. You may have to separate yourself and you may be the only one for a while and then look behind you and see that others are following. But choose those friendships oh so carefully because they literally can direct the next steps in your life for a lifetime. So until we meet again, Tab and Dab, I urge you to merge onto a better way road, baby.
Thank you.